Hello guys, my name is Dr. Varun and you are watching Chlorophyll classes. This video is for the 11th class, and what we were doing in the last week, we were talking about the biological classification. Till now we have covered what we have completed the biological classifications, different kingdoms classifications that came up one by one. After that we have even done with the kingdom Monera. After this, what would be the next thing for this week? This week we're gonna be trying to wind up the chapter. So next is the kingdom Protista. So we are following what? We are following the R.H. Whittaker classification, right? Now over here, which you think that you have to remember is, before we go further, we have to remember about certain concepts. What is the concept? Now, on this planet Earth, there are two different types of organism live. What are the basis of classification? The basis of classification is that whether their chromosome is single or paired, and we gave a particular name for it. So let's just see that. So on this world, okay, the world has two types of organisms. World has two types of organism. What I said, whether they have double chromosome, pairing chromosomes, or unpaired chromosomes. Okay, so what are they? So whether they have paired chromosome, or unpaired chromosomes, means only single chromosome present. Single word doesn't seem good or the right way, just the unpaired would be the better statement. So I just keep with the unpaired ones. Unpaired chromosomes means, for example, us, in our all cells, the chromosomes, when you see the chromosomes, when you will see that, we will learn later on. For now, whatever the chromosomes present in each of my body cells, they will be paired, because what, one of it coming from mother, one is coming from father. From 10th class you know this. But in this world, not everyone is like that. There are certain organisms which has only one chromosome. Okay, so what that one chromosome means, for example, single, it don't have the paired form of it. Remember it. So those which has the paired form of chromosome, those organisms are called as diploid organisms. Diploid organisms means, we are talking, this classification is based on what? Ploidy level. Based on ploidy level. What is ploidy? Ploidy means your chromosome or genetic material number. Will you remember this fact? Okay, moving on to the next thing. So we humans are what? We are diploid organisms. Most of the organisms are diploid organisms. What are the unpaired organisms are called as? They are called as haploid organism. Haploid organisms. Now, in my body, just remember that haploid cells also form, but where they will form in the reproductive cell, means that when my gametes will be forming, at that time my body diploid cell will change into haploid. Why? We will learn later this concept. So there, what is the concept? I told you that there are two types of organisms. One is diploid, one is haploid. Diploid means they have a pair of chromosomes, and haploid, they have single pair of chromosome. So here I am making this diagram also, means they have what? Chromosome in this form into X, means whatever the number. For example, my body has 23 pairs. Okay, so example, humans have how many? 23 pairs of chromosome. Okay, means what? Here I can easily write that this is 23. Okay, 23 such pairs. Haploid organisms, there are what? Only single chromosome present. Okay, means they are not in the paired form. When I'm saying single, remember that word. Now the next thing is that, okay, we understand there are two types of ploidy and all. How it will work, we will see later on. Okay, now my life cycle is what? My life cycle has all the cells that would be diploid except my gamete cells. So when I have to make gametes, means I am doing what? I am reducing my cell level to half. Why? Because half I will contribute, half the mother will contribute. Then whatever the baby we will have, that will have diploid cells. Did you understand this fact? For this, certain type of cell division occurs. Of course, we will learn this whole thing again in detail in the cell chapter, cell division chapter. Now we are learning just the basics which can help us to understand the things. So what are it? There are two types of cell division. The next topic which we're going to be covering is what? Cell division. Why we are learning it? Later you will understand in this chapter. Here just understand the facts. There are two types of cell division. One is mitosis, other is meiosis. Now for example, if a cut happens over here, like I am driving bike, and suddenly I hit, okay, and I got a cut. After some time, what happened? The cut heals itself. We all might have run, walked, fall, our injuries might be there, which has healed up again. How? Because there is a formation of new cells. So in my body, continuously new cells are being formed. For example, right now my hand has certain dead cells. So when I'm touching any object like this, certain dead cells are left out here. Okay, so remember that fact. So new cells will keep on coming. How they are coming up? They're coming up by again cell. The older cell divide. Some cell dies, some form reproduced. Okay, cell will definitely reproduce and form new forms. This way of doing with all the cells that my body cells are doing, your body cells, all the organism cells are doing, this form of cell division is mitosis. It is also called as equational division. And when I'm saying equational division, it means what? That equal divisions will be there with respect to the ploidy level. Ploidy level means the genetic level. Means if I had a cut over here and the new cell will form by the cells which are present over here. The older cell and the new cells that will be forming. One cell will make two cells. Okay, you might have done the binary fission kind of a thing. One cell, parent cell making two daughter cell. When they are making two daughter cell in the 10th class, na, they are doing what? They are doing the mitosis. Okay, equal dividing the things. Which things? Ploidy level. Okay, so there are two types of division. One is mitosis. Another is meiosis. Okay, let's just study about this in detail. So mitosis is what? It is a equational division or a equal divisions. Means the parent cell and the offspring will have equal ploidy. Ploidy word means what? Genetic material or number of chromosomes, whatever you want to call it, or chromosomes. Understood? Means for example, if this is the cell, this is the parent cell, it will divide into two cells. Okay, and these two cells are what? Offsprings. So this is your parent, these are offsprings. For example, if it has 10 chromosomes, this will also have 10 chromosome and this will also have 10 chromosome. Means equal. Clear? What about the meiosis? Meiosis is called as reductional division. And when I'm saying the reductional, means it reduces the thing. Okay, so it is called as what? Reductional division. So reduction means something we are reducing it up. So means what happened? Whatever the parents will have, the child will have half of it. Okay, and here 4 offsprings are formed. Where it is taking place? I told you what initially when we were talking, I told you that when I have to do a sexual reproduction, I will make what? I will make male gametes, what it is called as sperms. So when the sperms are being formed, since half of the contribution would be mine, half of the contribution would be of a female. Okay, so what will happen basically? That half plus half should come up equal to what is present in a human species, means 23 pairs. So half of the pair, 23 comes from me, 23 will come from the female. Okay, this thing you have to remember. Okay, so in reduction meiosis, what is happening? I am reducing my ploidy level in my gametes half. Okay, so gametes will always be half only. Okay, just remember it, one certain facts, we will learn about it later. Okay, so reductional division, it will occur, means the parent cell chromosome number will reduce to half in offspring. Let's just see that with the help of a diagram. This is the parent. Here there will be what? 4 offsprings. How that happens we will learn later. Okay, so I made 4 offsprings which happen from one parent. And now the thing is that if the parent has 10 chromosomes, then each of them will have 5. How this happens we will learn later, but for now just remember certain pointers. So I told you what 2 types of divisions are taking place. One division is what? Mitosis, where the cells divide from like 1 cells to the 2 cells. Chromosome number remains same, means ploidy remains same, genetic material remains same. But if we goes to the meiosis, then what happens? From single cell 4 cells will form and 4 offsprings will have half of the ploidy level than to the parent if we are comparing it up. So here the cells which will be formed, its ploidy is half. So these cells will often called as haploid cells with respect to the parent. Okay, these things are there. Let's just move on to the major topic of the chapter, that is Kingdom Protista. So Kingdom Protista, since I'm not writing a lot of these things because I felt that too much writing means my video will become too longer. Okay, these notes are easily available to you. If something extra which is not given in the written form of these notes, we can I can give you special pointers written on the spaces around the PDFs which I am teaching you over here. Okay, so with this chapter we are going with this one. With other chapters we are writing everything up. You can also write it simultaneously, or maybe you can just get the notes and later on make it up. Okay, so let's just start with this first thing, that is Kingdom Protista. So what are the characteristics of Kingdom Protista till now? We remember that R.H. Whitaker gave a table and we know their features. What are the features? What is a cell type? It is a eukaryotic cell. Then whether, like if it is a eukaryotic cells, the next thing is whether they have a cell wall or not. It can be present or cannot be present. Okay, so there will be certain examples which do not have, certain which will have, and this becomes an important match the following kind of a question or simply a question also. So they can ask you that what kind of cell wall present in these different divisions of Protista, means we further divide the Protista. Same way we divide the Porifera into divisions like mycoplasm, we studied eubacteria, archaebacteria, same over here. We will study the Protista also into different types and divisions, and you know that from taxonomical category that there is what? There is a kingdom, then there is a division or phylum, those things. So division level we will be studying for the Protista and for the next ones. Okay, next thing, what is that? Whether they are cellular or acellular, they are cellular. Okay, unicellular, okay, kind of an organisms. Moving on to the next thing, that most all of them are what? Unicellular, which is an important point which I am highlighting here also. They are unicellular eukaryotes. Then their cell membrane I have talked about. Then their mode of nutrition is wide variety. They could be autotrophs, they could be heterotrophs. We know that they show wide variety of the things because a lot of unicellulars are present over here. Do they have any multicellular? No, strictly unicellular. So they are strictly unicellular organism, strictly unicellular organisms only. Okay, now the next thing is that we go further, that this kingdom do not have a set boundaries, means there are certain organisms which look like animals, have a feature like animals, certain which has a female like plants, and certain which has a feature like other kingdoms also. So well-defined boundaries are not there. Okay, because examples we will learn it one by one. Here I am just telling you the brief that this kingdoms forms a link dealing with the plants, animal and fungi, because boundaries of this kingdom is not well defined. An example for such would be what? Like plants, there is what? There is Euglena. Okay, this Euglena do what? Euglena has photosynthetic pigment. Photosynthetic pigments. Then if there is a features like animal, what are the features like animal? There is what? Cell wall absence, heterotropic mode of nutrition, even locomotory function. These are what? Animal kingdoms feature. And the last one would be what? That is fungi. For this, the example is our slime molds, which is the one point of it, because slime molds, it forms what? It forms fruiting body, which is similar to the fungi feature. Forms fruiting bodies. So these 3 pointers you have to remember. This can come in the assertion reason concept based thing in your NEET also, as well as in your subjective academic exams also, that justify these things. So examples and all those things has been written for you guys. Okay, so these are the classes or the divisions of the Protistas. What are they? Dinoflagellates, Chrysophytes, Euglenoids, slime molds, and Protozoans. So these 5 different divisions we have to study. Before going on to basic features and life cycle, we have to remember. So reproduction is, they can go by asexual or sexually. Asexual is very easy, binary fission and spore formations, which we have even studied a little bit, but little bit more we have to understand the difference kind of a thing. Binary fission is simple, that 2 daughter cells are formed from the single one. Okay, so binary fission is simple, that is 1 daughter cell making 1 parent making 2 daughter cells. Okay, so these are what? These are the daughter cells. This is binary fission, and this is what? This is the parent. Okay, then the next one is the spore formation. When we are studying about the spore formation, what happened? They form a special structure. For example, if this is the body of your one of the Protista, it will form a special structure. Like for example, it formed this structure. Imagine that it is a bag kind of structures. Imagine it. So this bag kind of structures which is present on my hat. Okay, this structure, for example, imagine you can carry anything or anything. These are called as what? Sporangia. So bags, the different word we are studying for today, that is sporangia or sporangium, which is called as what? Bag kind of a thing. So this word will come again and again. So here only I am writing sporangia is what? It is a bag kind of thing, bag like or sack like thing. Okay, so they forms what? Inside it spores will form. Okay, spores will form is something which is what? A feature of, like we have studied that endospore in the bacteria, right? Here also the spores will form. Okay, and then what will happen? This thing will burst, like for example, ting. Okay, and whatever the spores is present inside, it will go out. Okay, so imagine it something like this. So it becomes free and germinate to forms a new one. Okay, so here I am making one of the such diagram. Okay, so for example, this is one sporangium. For example, this is the what? This is the sporangium. Okay, inside it what? Inside it's the presence of spores. Okay, it will burst, and after burst, what will happen, beta? Whatever is present inside it, it will come out. Like remember na, in childhood you might have a birthday celebration where the balloon filled with toffees and all those things would be there, and we burst it and it comes out. So imagine that toffees is what? The toffee is the spores and the big balloon is what? Sporangium. Okay, so all the things will come out and they will do what? They will germinate. Wherever they will fall, they will form the new body. Germinate means again forming the things. So this happens in only and only in the slime molds. Okay, nowhere else. Okay, then there is the sexual reproduction. Now for the sexual reproduction, remember the things which will be similar in the rest of the things. So we are not going to be revising again and again. What it is that in the sexual reproduction, what happened? The requirement of male and female body. They need to make the gametes, and the gametes has to fuse. Now what are the different types of gametes? Make them different. For example, in humans, which you might have studied already, you know that the gametes are what? The male gamete has flagella, small, these things. You might have made the sperm diagram during your initial 10th class. Same thing. Whereas female is bigger in size. So what it looks like in humans? In humans, it looks like this is this and the egg is this, bigger. Okay, so this happens. This thing is there. now this different looking gametes are there. This will become a different category. If it is similar looking, then it becomes a different gametes. For example, if both the gametes look like this, the male also, the female also. So this is what different idea. So we have two different versions of it, which is further classified into difference. So what are they? First, we're gonna be writing that thing only. So types of gametes, and we are taking this thing on what? On the basis of morphology. Okay, so if someone will ask like on what basis we are taking it? On morphology basis. Morphology basis. Now it is of two types. What are the two types? Either both the gametes will look similar, means homogametic. Organisms are homo, male and female look similar, or there could be a heterogametic. Heterogametic means male and female are different. So hetero word means what? Hetero means different. Homo means same. Okay, so this thing is there. Then homogametic, only one such example is there. What is that example? This is called as isogametes. Iso means similar. Iso word means similar. Whereas heterogamete has two examples. What are the two examples of heterogametes? Number one is anisogametes. N word itself means opposite. Okay, anisogametes. And there could be oogametes. Okay, let's just see over here what is written over here, and we just finalized this thing. So if you see over here, isogametes means here the gametes are morphologically similar. Okay, morphology basis only we are dividing it, but in terms of physically means its activity, one would be a male gamete, one would be a female gamete. So physically it's not similar, it can be or cannot be. So this becomes an important point. Means physiologically means, like for example, this is my physical appearance, right? It looks different than the female, it looks different than the you, okay, but it looks similar to the males, right? Same thing over here, the gametes look morphologically similar. Means imagine that two Varuns are here. Okay, so what happened? One Varun, two Varun, and both looking similar, but maybe the other Varun is female in nature, but this is male in nature. Okay, so here they could be similar or dissimilar. So here I'm making its example so that you remember. Isogametes means both look like this. Okay, this is what? This is your male, this is female. Or it could look like with flagella. So male also has flagella, female also flagella. It looks similar, but physiologically they aren't. Okay, oh, wait. Okay, then anisogametes. Anisogametes are what? The gametes are morphologically dissimilar. They don't look similar. Physiologically, they can be similar or dissimilar, depending upon. Normally, it is what? Dissimilar only. One would be the male, one would be the other would be the female. Okay, so gametes could be like they are what? Dissimilar in look like. So how it could be? For example, one gamete is this. Okay, another gamete is this, bigger. Or maybe one gamete is flagella, other gamete isn't. Okay, so this vice versa, anything can happen over here. Moving on to the next one, oogametes. Oogametes what? Male is small and motile, very fixed. That male would be what? Male would be smaller and motile. Okay, like sperm. Okay, and the female is large and non-motile. And the female would be large and no motile, no flagella present. This is what? In case of humans. Okay, so example you have to remember humans. Okay, this is what? This is the oogamy. So oogamy, oo big word is coming, means female would be bigger ovum, male would be smaller and motile over here. Okay, where here you have to remember that in case of one species of plant, not Protista, all of these will be seen. So we will come back again and work over it. So we studied what? We studied that two different types of gametes can form, homogametic or heterogametic. Homo means looking similar. Heterogametic means looking different. Morphological basis we are dividing it. What could come into the homogametic? Only one type, that is isogametes. Iso means similar in morphology, but physiologically they can be similar or cannot be. Okay, moving on to the next one, that is anisogametes. Aniso word A means opposite of the iso, means they are dissimilar in looks. Well, it means morphologically, looks means morphologically, but physiologically means its physical working or things could be similar or dissimilar. Normally it is dissimilar. Coming to the next one, the last one, that is oogametes. In this, male will be small and has a flagella present, or means will be motile, whereas female will be large and non-motile, means no locomotory flagella, cilia, anything present. Strict. Okay, so this thing is there. In isogametes and oogametes, people are confused. In isogametes, there are wide range of things comes. Maybe the male couldn't be non-motile, could be. Okay, so things are like this. We'll go further with it. This is 3 types. Now the life cycle of the protist. Now there are 2 different types of life cycle comes. Why there are 2 types of life cycles comes? Because the wide range of animals are, or the protists are put into it. Since the wide range of organisms are present inside it, means vast variety of differences will come. And those symptoms comes in terms of life cycle. Here you have to remember that 2 different types of organisms are there. Initial, the first slide which I was talking initially for 10 minutes. Over there, I talked to you about what that concept will come. So if you didn't understand that concept, go back, see that again, and then come back over here. If you have understood it, let's just dive into it. 2 types of organisms are what? Either the organisms could be haploid or they could be diploid. Haploid means half of the chromosomes, means only single chromosomes, no pairing present. Whereas the diploid means there will be what? Paired chromosomes present. And the life cycle changed, means our life cycles, means we are diploid, our life cycle would be similar to their diploid counterpart, and other would be like that. Just giving the example over here. Okay, let's just see that. For example, if the haploid, for example, let's start with the diploid life cycle. Okay, in diploid life cycle, what happened? Remember beta, that the organism is diploid, so we write it with 2n, and haploid means half, means only n. Okay, so 2n means diploid organism. So here I'm going to be writing it up. This is what? A diploid organism. Okay, from adult only will start. Now adult will do what? Adult will make the gametes. How I was making gametes? Gametes are haploid in nature, means half. And when I have to do a half inside my body cells, I will do what? I will go for meiosis. So look over here. Meiosis will occur. And what will form? The gametes will form. Here it makes 2 like gametes. Now the gametes could be any type, aniso, oo, error. But one organisms will bring one type of it. And when the sexual reproduction is occurring, means one gamete I will form, other gamete my partner has to form, right? So one gamete is being coming up from this organisms and other is coming from another partner. Okay, so here I'm gonna write it up. From another partner, from another adult. Now what will happen? Both the gametes will meet. Sexual reproduction you have studied now. One gamete, egg, sperm and egg used to meet. Here also gametes, we are not giving any name. They fuses. What they will fuses and form? They will form a zygote. Okay. So here look over here. The fertilization occur and zygote form. And zygote will have what? N coming from one, N coming from other. They will form again 2N. 2N looks similar to it. It will grow. How it will grow? It will multiply, whatever it wants to do. Okay, so that thing will happen over here. So what I said, if adult is like this, I will make gamete. The gamete will come from my counterpart also. Okay, and both the gametes will meet. As they will meet, they will form zygote. The zygote is what? It is diploid in nature because N plus N. It looks like me. My baby look like 2N. I am also 2N, right? So it will grow mitotically or whatever. If it is a multicellular, mitotically, unicellular, no, but normally they are unicellular. Okay, or the cell aggregates are also there. Okay, then this is the one thing. Coming up back to the another thing, that is a haplontic life cycle. Now imagine that my body do not have a double cell, like double chromosomes, paired chromosomes. I have what? Single chromosome present. Means single chromosomes look similar to what? Look similar to the gametes. Over here, what is happening? See over here. The diploid was like this. The gamete will have what? Only this. Multiply by the number of chromosome it has. So here N, and this female one is coming, and this is forming what? This plus this. Again double. This is also double. This is also double. Means diploid. Means no change is further needed. It goes back to it. Now think about this. Here what is happening beta? The adult itself is haploid. And when it has to do the sexual reproduction, what it will do? It has In sexual reproduction, we have to what? You will say that, sir, we have to reduce the ploidy content. No, beta, ploidy content will not be reduced because gametes will always be haploid. Now they themselves is haploid. Why they need to remove the chromosome? Like imagine this, na? Like there will be one chromosome, like one kind of a chromosome only present. If you will reduce it, what will happen? Half chromosome. Half chromosome is nothing. Okay, did you understand this point that half chromosome is nothing? It means that chromosome you have break up, and if you break the chromosomes means you are doing what? You are destroying the ploidy, you are destroying the genetic material which you have. We can't do it. So they will remain same like this, means they will simply do the mitosis, equational division. Remember I told you what? That it has what? 10 chromosomes. Next will also get 10 chromosomes. Here already it has this single chromosome. We have to give the single chromosome only. We will do what? Mitosis, equational division. Did this thing is understandable to you or not? If not, let me know in the comment section so that I can make a short out of it. Okay, so that once the short is out of it, then you can understand much better seeing it again and again. You don't have to scroll this whole video to find out what is the difference between and keep on struggling with yourself. Okay, so don't worry, we will work on it, and 2027 would be yours for the 11th student, and those who are the droppers or anything, they can also refer to this for 2026. Okay. Now what will happen? One gamete is coming from here. If the sexual reproduction is being done, the female will make another gamete. So this part is coming from the counterpart, means the opposite sex. What will happen? In this, fertilization will occur and zygote will form. Means what? There was one chromosome, and here what is happening? There is two chromosomes coming up. Means, hey ma, what is happening? Ayyo, we have to change it. So now what we will do? We will reduce it. How do we reduce it to the half? Because this is 2, we have to make 1. We will do what? We will do meiosis. And when we are doing meiosis, what will happen? It will reduce it to the half. Means it will leads to the formation of what? 4 cells. Means from one adult, it can form 4 new cells, and they will germinate and form into what? To the new adults. Understood? So next we're going to be seeing that after this about the division of the Protista. Okay, so Protista has 5 major divisions, okay, which we have already discussed before, but here we are writing it up so that you can remember it. So Kingdom Protista is classified into how many? That is 5 different divisions. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So 5 divisions are there. 5 divisions. So what are those 5 divisions, bacha? Number 1 is your Dinoflagellates. Dinoflagellates. Okay. Then we have Chrysophytes. After Chrysophytes, we have Euglenoids. After Euglenoids, we have slime molds. After slime molds, we have Protozoans. So these 5 we have to study. Okay, and from here, a very good level of questions can form. Okay, and furthermore, and we're gonna be tackling it within the studying time of it. So what are the 5 of them? Dinoflagellates, Chrysophytes, Euglenoids, slime molds and Protozoans. Further, if there is a divisions which is present inside it, that is Protozoans, 4 divisions, which we will learn it over there only. Okay, so let's just start with the first one, that is Dinoflagellates. Now the Dinoflagellates are what? The group of animals which are present into it, which has what? Flagellates means flagella is present. So name itself saying certain features of it. Then they belongs to the division Pyrophyta, and divisions under what comes? Classes comes, that is Dinophysi. Okay, so dino word is important for us. So these are the protists with 2 flagella present. And these 2 flagellas are what? They are present at with respect to 90 degree to each. Means one, there would be a longitudinal flagella, other would be a horizontal or transverse flagella, which we're gonna be learning, no issues. Here we're gonna see certain things. That is what? Dinoflagellates are mainly marine. So these pointers you have to remember that they are present in the marine. They are present on what? They are present on the surface of the water, and that's why they gave a particular characteristic color to it also. Like for example, they are found to be surface of water, and they appears yellow, green, brown, blue or red depending upon their main pigments, and they causes red tides. We have studied about red sea because of the presence of a bacteria or the kingdom monera organism, that is Trisdesmium. Okay, but over here dinoflagellates give red tides because of the color. The dinoflagellate is holophytic. Holophytic means they have a plant-like nutrition also, as well as plant-like nutrition. Okay, the first feature. Examples of dinoflagellates are what? Like these two, Gonolex and Gymnodium. Okay, these two are given in NCERT, so this you have to remember. Rest if you forget also, no issues. So Gonolex and Gymnodium, and their high number causes tides of the sea appears to be red in color. Okay, so that is what they are called as the red tides, which gonna be studying further. So over here, if you see, these things are given to you, certain factors and the pointers which we have to remember. What are these factors and pointers? Number one is their cell wall has plates present, and they are made up of what? Cellulose. Okay, so they are divided into plates made up of cellulose, and this give a covering around the dinoflagellates, and it appears like armored. Armored means that if you went to certain historical museums, maybe in Rajasthan or maybe also present in the other areas of South India also, there you will found what? You will found the clothes of the kings and the queens. Over there might be weaponaries which is being, or artilleries that is being used up during the wars. In that there is one like costume which the kings wear, made up of all irons and the metal, which is all covering it up. Like it's appeared like certain shells are being made up. So those plates kind of a thing is, and appeared like armored. So this also appeared armored, seen as armored, and also called as armored algae. Okay, this becomes an important. So how it looks like, if I have to make it with a diagram, so it appears something like this. I'm making, wait, like this. So these things which I'm making just now, this is what? This is giving a armored kind of appearance. Okay, and this is what? The made up of cellulose. Cellulose appeared armored. Now I told you also that it has two flagella present. One is this, which is what? A transverse flagella, and other is this. This is what? A longitudinal axis flagella. So this is what? This is a transverse axis of the body. So this flagella name is what? Transverse flagella. Transverse flagella. Whereas this is what? Horizontal, sorry, longitudinal. So that is known as what? Longitudinal flagella. Let's see that what they are saying about it. Okay, so if you see over here, dinoflagellate has two flagella. One lies longitudinally, other lies transversely. Okay, and they are present between the wall plates, shown you over here. Okay, then they are what? These have the special kind of movement. Like one is whirling movement and other is a whip splash movement to move. Okay, so they do what? They splash like this and move. Okay, so means imagine that this is the flagella of the dinoflagellate. It splash like it and it can move. It do this also, move things. Okay, I hope this thing is understood. So they have what? Whirling wheels type of movement. Okay, so special type of movement is there. What is the name of that movement? Whirling whips. Okay, this I have explained you. Now histone protein is absent in them and its chromosome, and this is the reason dinoflagellate is called mesokaryotes. Mesokaryotes are what? In between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Now I told you that bacteria has what? Non-histone protein in the chromosomes, whereas eukaryotes have histone proteins. Here the histone proteins are not present, but it has the features of proper cell wall. Okay, it has, sorry, not a proper nuclear membrane and all those things. That's why we are putting into eukaryotes, but it is what in between of them. Okay, so they are called as mesokaryotes. Meso means here, over here, which is present between it. So over here, if I'm writing it up about these things, then what happened? Your dinoflagellates, in the terms of evolutions, we have prokaryotes, means your bacteria, we have dinoflagellates, and then we have eukaryotes. That's why now that prokaryotes are what in between a version of present between prior we have studied prokaryotes, and next would be what eukaryotic fungi, right? They should be present in between. Even there was a diagram I have shown you in the biological classification where Monera develops prokaryotes, and prokaryotes form all the trees, right? Because they have connecting link also. So these are called as because of their features that histone proteins are not present in the chromosomes. Okay, what are they? We will learn it later. Okay, just remember that histone proteins are present in the chromosomes. So they are called as what? Mesokaryotes, which is in between of this term. Someone will ask why? Because histone protein absent. Okay, so this thing you have to remember, beta. Further, what? Further thing is that dinoflagellates are yellow brown, golden brown in color, and these colors are present because of the pigments. What are the pigments? Chlorophyll A, chlorophyll C, and xanthophyll. Especially the xanthophylls are the major ones. Okay, moving on now. And what are the xanthophylls? Dinoxanthin or dindinoxanthin. This can be important thing for you. This xanthophylls only giving this characteristic color. Okay, their store food is starch, which is like same like plants. Okay, so certain features going towards plant kind of a thing. Okay, moving on, some information which you have to remember. The dinoflagellates show bioluminescence. Bioluminescence, bio means living, luminance means lighting. Okay, so that is what bio means living, luminance means what? Lighting. You know, na, certain organisms show what? Lights in the dark. Okay, so they also, like firefly, you might have studied, same thing. So if you are from South India, you might know that in the Chennai certain beach or Pondicherry certain beach, or even the islands which we have or in the Kerala coastal areas, certain seasons or time we get a blue color lighting in the sea when the tides are there, or you are on the, like you might have seen certain reels where even on the sand if you are walking there the colors comes. Why those colors comes? Because there are dinoflagellates which are present in that areas. When you touch it or any current come or any sensitivity come, they give this lighting. Okay, so this thing is there. So night light, and this, because of this reason, this is called as fire algae. So it has two names with respect to algae. What is armored algae? Because of its cell wall appearance, plates form, and the second is what? Fire algae, because it shows bioluminescence at the night. Okay, now glowing at the night. Then the next thing is gonolix spread over the sea surface, and its rapid multiplications caused what? Red tide, because of the red color appearance. Okay, next is the gymnodium and gonolix are toxic. If they are more in number, they secrete a toxin and the life form over there will die. Okay, so it causes what? If the humans also take it, so it can cause the paralysis in human. Okay, because humans also eat it. So this toxin can cause the paralysis in humans, and it is a major effect for the water bloom. Water bloom is what? When this happens with respect to the bacteria, cyanobacteria, we know that. Here also they cause the bacterial water bloom, where they spread so much over there, they take up all the oxygens, they release the toxins, and everyone dies. That is a part of water bloom. Okay, this is with respect to what? This is with respect to your dinoflagellates. So two examples are given which you have to remember. Okay, then the next one is the Cryophytes. The Cryophytes mainly organisms are the diatoms. Diatoms or the golden algae, they are the two one, which is golden algae is also called as dismus. Okay, remember this. This is the NCERT thing only which I am highlighting, which is the most important thing. Everything is important with respect to it. They may be found in the fresh water as well as marine. So wide range of environment. Their shape could be circular, rectangular, triangular, elongated, or boat shaped. It could be anything. Moving on, their cell wall is made up of silica particles into it. Means cellulose is there and silica particle is there, and they appear like what? Soap box. Okay, so over here what? Their appearance is like soap box. Soap box appearance. What this soap box appearance? For example, imagine that this is the upper cell wall and this is the lower cell wall. Okay, the cell wall is present like this, fits into it, and within this cell wall there is a presence of what? There is a presence of silica like this. The yellow and orange color is what? That is your cellulose only. This blue color thing which I made, it is what? It is the silica. Okay, so this is what? This is made up of cellulose, but this silica is embedded into it. Now there is a feature of silica. Since they are more in number on the surface, but when silica is indestructible, means it don't usually get destroyed. Okay, it takes a lot of time to get destroyed, but it never destroys. So it, like for example, if it is something is flowing but it die, it will go and settle down into the bottom. Okay, as it goes and settle down bottom of the floor, what will happen? Lot of these silicas will be left out because all the other things will be eaten up, but the silica will be left out. So silica's mountains are being formed, or the depositions has been formed, and this thing which is forming over the bottom is called as what? Diatomous earth. And this diatomous earth is of lot of used, which is used in lot of industries like polishing industries, grinding industries, packaging industries. Lot of places it is being used up. So this thing is being explained over here, which is super important for you to remember. Okay, now the pigments which are present on there is chlorophyll A, chlorophyll C, and xanthophyll. And here the xanthophyll is phycoxanthin. This phycoxanthin, remember it because it will come back again in the algae chapter, and this is a link between them, that the cryophytes has what? Xanthophylls made up of phycoxanthin. Okay, then they are the chief producer of the oceans. This is a very important thing. Means chief producers means which will produce the food. Food produce, okay, what kind of fruit? Because they are what? They are photosynthetic. So means they will make what? Photosynthetically, they will absorb the sunlight and make the food. So this will give the food to the bigger animals, and further bigger animals would be the consumers and the food chain. You might have studied about food chain now, like producers are what? Plants. In ocean, these are the chrysophytes. Okay, so food chain, I am writing it off, food chain. So you will remember this fact. Now this food is stored in the form of leucocin, that is, and the oil. Okay, how they will move the movements? They move passively with the flow of the water current. Passively means without putting up any efforts or energy. So as the water current is moving, they will also move like this. Like for example, if imagine that I am the chrysophytes. So water moving, I am also moving like this. Okay, so this is it. Then they move passively. They do not have any flagella. Okay, flagella is not there, floats passively. Then the next thing is example, like what are the use of the diatomous earth? So this is the use of the diatomous earth. So this is what? Use of diatomous earth material. So soundproofing, filtering of the oil and syrup, stone polishing, heat insulators, these things. So you have to remember this thing. Okay, moving on to the next division. What is the next division? That is the Euglenoids, where the Euglenoids are present. Now the Euglenoids are what? Previously they were put into plant kingdoms because they can make their own food and have a similar kind of a photosynthetic pigments. Because similar kind of photosynthetic pigments, they are placed into plant kingdom. This we have already studied. But later on we realized that they do not have the cell wall present. So they have a feature of what? Animals. Okay, but have absence of cell wall. Animal like nutrition also is there. Means they can make their food, but if the sunlight is not there, they will engulf the food and eat it. Okay, so some scientists place in the animal kingdom, but according to the 5 kingdom classification, it was put into the protist. Okay, anything which is not making any sense, let's put it in the protist. Okay, so this thing is there. They are found in they are free living organisms in the fresh water, And in the damp soil or the brackish water, they are photosynthetically active in the sunlight. When they are not present, then the heterotrophs, where they predate on the smaller organisms. Example is Euglena and Euglenoids. Okay, of the Euglenoids are the Euglena. So structure is what? This is the structure of it. Okay, so there is what? There is a nucleus present over here. There is a pellicle. Pellicle is what? The proteinaceous cell layer present around it. Okay, then there is a contractile vacuole, eye spot, and the flagella present. Let's see them about them. They are what? They are unicellular, cell wall absent. Their cell membrane is made up of lipoprotein and is called with the cell membrane covered with the pellicle. Pellicle is what? It is a proteinaceous structure and it is elastic in nature. That's why they are very smooth and gymnastic body. Okay, so you can see that from there, the flow of their body, if you are doing the drawings or also thing. So anterior of the euglenoid, there is a cavity present called as reservoir. Okay, so this area is what is the reservoir, and flagella originated from here only. Can you see that flagella is coming from here? So reservoir. And euglena has only one, like it has two flagella. One is a functional one, long, other is smaller one, which is present only here only within this. Then there's an eye spot which can detect the sunlight presence or photons, photons are there. Okay, then it has a contractile vacuoles which help in osmoregulation. Osmoregulation is what? It is a function of maintaining the osmolarity with respect to changing water salt conditions. Okay, then they have a chloroplast present. That's why they have a photosynthetics like plant kingdom, because they have chloroplast. So we assume that okay, chloroplast is there, means they belongs to the plant kingdom, but that's not the truth. The pigments are these: chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, similar to like higher plants. Then xanthophylls like zeaxanthin is present. These pigments are identical to the plants, that also make a difference to look like them. We have already said about those things. Then their stored food is parmesan or the fats. Then comes the fourth one, that is slime molds. Slime molds comes under the category of decomposers, means they feed on dead decaying organisms. Okay, and there has what? They have a vegetative reproduction. Vegetative reproductions are what? They are certain cell body parts start doing what? Reproduce vegetatively. Here how they will form what? Initially I told you what? They will form a sporangium, that is a fruiting body. Sporangium is fruiting body or the sac in which spores would be present. Same thing is happening over here. So they are also called as false fungi, because I told you what? This feature resembles to what? Fungi, but they are not the fungi. Okay, so this is the false conditions. Okay, so they are they are eating what? They are saprophytic in natures on dead decaying twigs. Twigs means the stem or the leaf. Okay, move over on the dead decaying organic matter where they are present, so they will move over there. Okay, under suitable conditions they form aggregations, means they come together and work like what? An army. I call it army. So what happened, for example, they will move like this. They, under certain conditions, they form like this structure. So that's why it is called as the slime molds have a brain kind of a thing. If you put it in the maze, it will find its food. It will found the branches in the maze and able to get the food. Okay, so this thing is there, and when they will form this kind of a structure, this structure is called as plasmodium. This is very important understanding. So what I told, that the slime moths are singles, but during the suitable conditions they will form what? They will form aggregations. Aggregation is what? This kind of structure. Initially they are present like this single cell, but they change into this, and this structure is called as what? Slime mold. Sorry, this structure is called as plasmodium. This is a structure name, not the organism. Organism is what? Slime mold. Okay, now what will happen? They will make the fruiting body. Fruiting body means what? The same thing which I have told you na, like they will make something like this, and inside this body what is present? Spores is present. So these are the fruiting body called as what? Sporangium. Sporangium. Okay, now these fruiting body, these features are very important over here. What? That these fruiting bodies, they bears what? Spores. Okay, at their tips. The spores have true cell wall, means the spores which is present inside it, these spores which will come out, they have a proper cell wall present. They're extremely resistant to any hard condition and survives up to years. Okay, any adverse conditions, and once they will burst with the help of air, they will go and forms. So Pyzarum is an example given, which is not given in NCERT. So if you don't remember, that's also okay. Then comes the last division of it, that is protist. Now the protist has what? It has basically four different further classes inside it present. What is there? So I am writing it protozoans. Now in protozoans, this is what? Protozoan is itself a division. This is a division. So it will form what? Okay, wait. So these are four classes of it. So what are the classes? Number one is the amoeboid. So amoeboid word itself what? Amoeba-like. So they are amoeba-like organisms. Imagine like this. So I will make small shapes of it. After amoeboid, we have a flagellated. Okay, so when we become the flagellated, it becomes like this. So imagine that this is the flagellated ones. Then we have ciliated. Ciliated means they have a cilia present on their body. Okay, so like this, imagine. So this is ciliated. And after that we have sporozoans. Okay, sporozoans, okay, which is spore like. Okay, let's just study about it. So what were the four of them? Flagellated, ciliated, amoeboid and protozoans. So they are what? You have to remember certain facts. What are the facts? They are heterotrophs. They live as a predators or parasites. So very different. So predators means what? Heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Parasite means what? They are going inside the body of organisms and causing the disease. So disease causing protozoans are coming in this one. Okay, so they are believed to be primitive relatives of animals. That's why they are also being studied under the heading protozoas. Okay, in the animal kingdom, when we're going to be studying it, we will go back to it. Okay, so these are what? They are studied into the heading of what? What is the heading? Protozoas. Protozoas. Okay, then amoeboid protozoans. They are what? They live in the fresh water. They are seawater and the moist soil. They move and capture their prey with the help of a pseudopodia. You might have already studied about this pseudopodia, na beta? So that thing is there. So they have what? False feet present pseudopodia, like amoeba. So amoeba is one such example. Then marine forms of it has a cilia present. Okay, so marine form has cilia shell on the surface, and some of the example is ant amoeba. So ant amoeba histolytica would be the example that is you're gonna be studying in your 12th class, which is causing what? That is causing amoebic dysentery. Okay, so ant amoeba histolytica, okay, is the parasite. Okay, it is present where? It is present in the human intestine, and it causes what? Amoebic dysentery. Okay, dysentery means diarrhea. Okay, moving on to the next one, flagellated ones. The flagellated will have what? Flagella. They could be free living or they could be parasitic. Okay, they have flagella present. The parasitic form causes diseases, of course, like sleeping sickness. Okay, example of that is tryptosomena. Okay, this example. Then move on to the next one, ciliated protozoans. They are aquatic, actively moving organisms because the presence of thousands of cilia. Example 2 is paramecium. You have already studied about paramecium, how it looks like. Okay, and all of them move in a coordinated manner, all the cilia, to make it move. It has a gullet. Gullet is a kind of an area through which the things can go inside, means like a mouth kind of a thing. It has a cavity called gullet that helps in what? Food capturing. Okay, so that is put it through the food. Food will be stirred into the gullet. Okay, that area. I hope that you understood. Like over here, I'm making the diagram also of it. For example, imagine it looks like this. So what happened? These are what? These are the cilia, and this is the gullet. And food is like this, imagine. So food will be put into it with the help of cilia and the movement. Okay, so this thing is there. And the last is sporozoans. What is about the sporozoans? So in sporozoans, look over here, that is, it includes diverse organisms which are infectious, spore-like stage. Okay, so spores would be there forming in their stages. Spores are gametophytes. Okay, so what example, plasmodium, which causes what, malaria. Okay, and it has what effects. So we will learning about this in detail. So about protozoans, they are parasitic, and their parasitic form would be learned more about in the 12th class, but here basic things have been given to you. With this, our Kingdom Protista is over, and the next thing that, well, that's all for today's video. If you like this video, give it a like, share it with your friends who you want to excel in your examinations, or maybe your noon or anything. Subscribe to this video, don't go without subscribing. And I am updating everyday things, what we're gonna be doing with every week, weekly plans, and we have a lot more coming up in the upcoming days. Tomorrow there will be an 11th class video. Tomorrow there will be a 11th class video on Kingdom Fungi. We will try to wind it up, rush it up, as well as we will try to go with the virus as well. That's all for this video. Thank you.